Right, welcome back to another on-base baseball video. My name is Brian Hafferkamp, and I'm the designer and creator of On-Base Baseball. In this game, we're going to continue our Braves instant replay. This is replaying the first game of each series in 2022 using the 2022 projected roster sheet set, which I'm getting from Fangraphs.com using their ZiPS projections, which are updated every day. And so I take those updated roster or those updated stats, and then I convert them into a playable roster sheet that you can use with On-Base Baseball and the game engine chart that you see here. Okay, and this game is going to be Oakland at Atlanta. This was played last night. I'm recording on June 8th. This game was played on June 7th, 2022. We're at game number 56 for the season. So about a third of the way through the year. The Braves are a couple of games over 500 now. They're on a 5-game winning streak coming into this. They won this game 3-2. And so they're on a 6-game winning streak. It'll be Kyle Wright versus Cole Irvin, and the A's come into town for, I believe it's a 3-game set. Not exactly sure about that, actually. Let's see. It is a 2-game series, and so the second game of the series will be played tonight, June 8th, and then it'll be Pittsburgh coming into Truist Park. So the next game here will be in a couple of days. I'll play the Pirates against the Braves. Sorry, get everything all set up here. Let's do the Oakland starting lineup. It's going to be Tony Kemp at second, leading off. Elvis Andrus at shortstop. Laureano in right. Jed Lowry is the DH. He's batting fourth. Chad Pinder in left. Brown at first. Davidson at third. Not familiar with those two. Murphy is catching, and Christian Pache, who was part of the Matt Olson, one of the key parts of the Matt Olson trade in the offseason to replace Freddie Freeman. He'll be batting last and playing center field. An excellent center fielder, not such a good hitter, and that's one of the reasons the Braves have sort of given up on him, but Oakland hoping he can turn it around. For the Braves, it'll be Acuna leading off in right, Swanson at short, then Riley hitting third, Olson batting cleanup this game. He is at first base, Albies at second, Ozuna will be DHing and hitting sixth. Contreras gets the start at catcher, already at 13 batting runs, so very good start for that young player. Felix Heredia. Guillermo Heredia will get the rare start in left field, and Michael Harris II playing center field and getting his second week of action in the major leagues. He made the jump from Double-A about a week ago, and so he's been playing pretty well. He scalded one last night that he should have had. I mean, he hit it well enough to get a hit, but the center fielder made a nice play on the ball. So we'll see how things go tonight. Right through 8 innings, 2-run ball. He gave up 2 runs in the first and nothing after that through a 5-hitter. Over 8, Jansen came in for the save. Got 3 up, 3 down in the 9th. And Irvin pitched well too. Gave up 2 solo home runs to Acuna. He led off the first and the third with solo home runs. And Heredia led off the 7th or 8th and hit a solo bomb to give them the 3-2 lead, and they held on to the end. So let's see how this game plays out on the tabletop. This is Oakland at Atlanta, 2022. Again, this was played on June 7th, and for Oakland, it's going to be Kemp, Andrus, and Laureano against Kyle Wright. So first batter, Kemp. That's a 3-6. 3-6 to a... it should be noted that Wright is pitching out of the second column, and Irvin is pitching out of the third column. So we'll see how that goes. So a 3-6 from Wright to a 1 is going to be a strikeout. So Kyle Wright starts off the game well with the K. 1 down, and Elvis Andrus to the plate. There's a 3-4. 3-4 to a -1 is going to be a double. So Andrus gets the party started with a 2-bagger to right center field. Laureano stands in. He's their best hitter at 11 batting runs. And he's got a 5-6. A 5-6 to an 11 is going to be a hit by pitch or a walk. So that's going to be a walk, and that will put runners at first and second base with only 1 out. Here's Jed Lowry to the plate. A 4-6 to Lowry. That's going to be, he's a -2, so that's going to be a double play or a strikeout. That's to Ozzie Albies, and so he's going to go 4-6-3. That's going to be out number 2. And that's a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. So Oakland gets a couple of runners on, but they can't get them over, and that is the end of the first inning. No runs for Oakland. We go to the bottom of the first. It'll be Acuna, Swanson, and Riley facing off against Cole Irvin. That's a 3-3. 3-3 to a 29 will be a double. So not a leadoff home run, but a leadoff double. And that is to the left center field gap as he scalds one that hits off the wall. And left fielder makes a nice play on it, but Acuna's in there standing up at second base. Swanson up to bat. He's in 8 batting runs. It's a 1-5. A 1-5 to an 8 is going to be a base hit. So a single by Swanson. Let's go and try to score Acuna as a base hit to center field. 1-6, he's safe at home. 7, 8, 9, he will be out, and he is safe, and that's a run-scoring RBI single for Dansby Swanson. And the Braves are up 1-0. Here's a 3-6 to Austin Riley with the runner at first and nobody out. A 3-6 is going to be a walk off of the pitcher column. So Swanson moves up to second base. We have runners at first and second with nobody out. And Matty Olson to the plate. Here's a 1-5. 1-5 to a 33 is going to be a ground out. That's a grounder to the second baseman. So we're going to assume that out at second base, and we will roll against Olson's speed rating here to see if he legs it out or not. 1-4, he's safe at first. Otherwise, he's out, and he is out, and that's a 4-6-3 double play. And that's going to push the runner to third base. So runner at third is Swanson, and 2 outs in the inning with Ozzie Albies coming to the plate. A 3-4 to Albies, who is a 5. That's going to be another double. And so that's a 2-bagger to the left center field gap as Albies drills one. That's going to be an RBI for him as he brings in Swanson from third base. And the Braves take a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Marcell Ozuna up, a 3-3 to Ozuna, who is a 0. And that's going to be a dinger. So Marcell Ozuna gets hold of a changeup that gets out over the plate, and that's a 2-run bomb for Ozuna as he brings in Ozzie Albies from second. And just like that, the Braves are up 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. It's a 4-4 to Contreras, who is a 13. That's going to be a walk to Contreras. And not a great start here for Cole Irvin. A 2-4 to a -7 is going to be a double play or a strikeout with 2 outs. It's going to be a strikeout. And Irvin gets out of the inning, but not before giving up 4 runs to the Braves. And Atlanta takes a 4-0 lead. We go to the top of the second inning. It's going to be Pinder, Brown, and Davidson against Kyle Wright. It's a 4-4. 4-4 to a 2 will be a single. So that's a base knock for Pinder. And let's go and try to steal second. He's a 6. So 1-6, he's safe. 7, 8, 9, he'll be out. And Contreras gets him at second base with the caught stealing. So it's going to be the first out of the inning. Brown, the first baseman, is up. It's a 2-4. 2-4 is going to be a strikeout. And that's out number 2 in the inning. Davidson, the third baseman, stands in. He is a 1 batting runs on the year. So a 6-6 to a 1 is going to be a long single. And because his speed is a 6, that's going to be a double. So a hustle double there as he shoots one to left field. And it's going to be Murphy, the catcher, up. He's a 0, perfectly average hitter this year. And a 2-5 to a 0 is going to be a fly ball with an error check. So it's a fly ball to left field. The left fielder is Heredia. He's a minus, and that's going to be an error as he goes a long way and he gets there, but he can't squeeze it for the out. That's going to be an E7. And with 2 outs, I think he's going to score. So let's just go ahead and do that. He's going to be running on the play for sure. And from second base, I'm sure he would score on that. So we're going to call that an E7, and that gives Oakland a run. So we'll gift them that one. I think that's probably what would have happened. Here's a 1-2. There's 2 outs in the inning and a runner at first base. Here's a 1-2 to Pache. That's going to be a ground out to Ozzie Albies. Ozzie slick with it and over to Olson. And that's going to be the third out of the inning. But Oakland does pick up a run. They trail 4-1 now as we head to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Harris, the number 9 hitter, and then back up to Acuna and Swanson in this inning. There's a 3-5 to Harris. A 3-5 is going to be a strikeout to a -5. So Irvin gets Harris with the strikeout. Acuna up now. He's 1 for 1. He had a double and scored a run in the first inning. And looks like he's going to get another one. This is going to be a 2-bagger. And that is to the right center field gap. So they try to pitch him away, and he just rips it to right center, and he gets in standing up. It's a 2-4. A 2-4 to an 8 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. No double play there, so that's going to be the second K of the inning for Cole Irvin. And that'll be 2 down. Runner at second base still, and Austin Riley to the plate. Riley's at 26 batting runs. And a 2-5 to a 26 will be a flyout with an error check. It's down the right field line. The right fielder is Laureano. He is a minus defender, but it doesn't matter here as he gets there and he makes the play. And that's going to be a fly ball to end the inning. No runs for the Braves. Lead is still 4-1 Atlanta as we head to the top of the third. We're going to roll the lineup back over to the top. It'll be Kemp, Andrus, and Laureano for Oakland. 2-3 is going to be a ground out to the catcher. The catcher is Contreras. A ground out to the catcher. Let's check the error on the play, and it is an error. So he gets there, but then he throws the ball away at first. And not a good play by Contreras. And that will put a runner at first base with nobody out. Let's go ahead and try to steal with him. Andrus is not a great hitter, so we're going to try to produce as many runs as we can for Oakland. They have not been a good team this year. 1-6, and he's safe, and he is in there with a stolen base just under the tag. It's a runner at second base, nobody out. Andrus at the plate, a 3-3 to a -1 is going to be a home run, and it doesn't matter as Elvis Andrus loads up and goes yard, and that's going to be a 2-run bomb. And that's going to bring home Kemp from second base. So Oakland right back in this one as the score is 4-3 in the top of the third inning. Here's Laureano. 4-5 to an 11 to be a base knock. So back-to-back hits for Oakland, and they have a runner at first with nobody out. It's a 1-4 to a -2. There's nothing here in Wright's column. So a 1-4 to a -2 would be a hit by a pitcher or walk. The number here on the D9 is a 2, so that's going to be a walk. And big trouble here for Kyle Wright as 2 are on with nobody out. 2 already in for Oakland. Here's a 2-5 to a -2, and that's a fly out to left field down the line. And let's check the error. No error. So Heredia gets there, and he squeezes it, and he makes the play. There's going to be no advance, as that is the first out of the inning. So 1 down and 2 on. Runner in scoring position for Brown. Brown struck out in his last at bat. Here's a 2-2. 2-2 is going to be a double, and that is off Wright's card. So that's a 2-bagger to right center field. Actually, dead center field. He hits it over Harris as he scalds that one. Short hops the wall. That's going to score the run from second base. The runner at first goes to third. Not going to chance it trying to score Lowry as he didn't get a good jump. But that is going to be an RBI for Brown. It's a 3-6. 3-6 to Davidson, who is a 1. Nothing there. So 3-6 is going to be a fly ball to left center field with 1 out. Let's go ahead and try to score that run. The game is now tied 4-4. And let's go ahead and try to score that run on a sacrifice fly. So that's going to be a fly ball to Heredia in left. And we're going to tag up here. 1-5, he's safe at home. 6, 7, 8, or 9, he's out. And it's a 6, and they get him at the plate as Heredia guns him down 7-2. And so this is going to be out number 2 and out number 3. So that's going to do it for Oakland as they try to push that lead run across, but they can't get it across. But they do tie the ball game at 4 with 3 runs on how many? 1, 2, 3 hits. So RBI double from Brown, 2-run home run from Elvis Andrus, and that's where we stand. Andrus, a Braves farmhand who was traded a long time ago. Okay, Atlanta, bottom of the 3rd inning. They suddenly find themselves in a tie ball game. It's going to be Olson, Albies, and Ozuna. 2-6 to Olson. 2-6 to Olson is going to be a base hit. So that's his first hit of the game. Brings up Ozzy Albies. Albies had an RBI double in his last at bat. There's a 3-4. This could be trouble here for Oakland. 3-4 to a 5 is going to be another double. And Albies with the double pushes Olson to third base. Not going to force the situation here as we got Ozuna up. He had a home run in his last at bat. And he's up with 2 on in scoring position. Nobody out. And let's see what goes on. A 1-2 is going to be a ground out, but the runners advance, so it's a little tapper to the shortstop, and the shortstop only has 1 play. So Andrus goes to first. That's going to push the runner over to third base as he had to come in just behind the pitcher. So going to go to third on the fielder's choice. That's going to score a run from third. That's the 3rd RBI of the game for Ozuna. And Olson scores on the fielder's choice. So 1 out, runner at third base, and 1 run in for the Braves as they take a 5-4 lead. It's a 1-4 to Contreras. 1-4 is going to be a double off of the pitcher card. So Contreras gets a hold of 1, rips it to left center field. That's going to be an RBI for him, and the score is now 6-4. Braves over Oakland. A lot of offense in this game, not in the real game. So there's a 5-5 to Heredia. 5-5 to a -7 is going to be a line out or a foul out if the D9 is a 5 or more. It's a 9. So that's going to be a foul out. I don't really get very specific about who gets the foul ball, but you certainly could. And brings up Michael Harris. So 3-4 to a -5. 3-4 to a -5 is going to be a double. And so Harris, he takes 1 and deposits it the opposite way into the gap in left center field. It rolls all the way to the wall. That's going to be an RBI double for Harris, the young center fielder. And the Braves come back with 3 in the bottom of the 3rd so far, and it is 7-4. Our score turns the lineup back over to Acuna. Acuna is 2 for 2 with a run scored, a couple doubles. So instead of 2 home runs, you get 2 doubles in this game. Here's a 3-5. 3-5 to a 29 is going to be a strikeout. So he goes down looking in his 3rd at bat, and that's out number 3. But the Braves do get 2 runs on 4 hits. They leave 1 on. Did I say 2 runs? I said 3 runs on 4 hits, and they leave 1 on. It's now 7-4 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Neither pitcher looking great at this point, but we'll see how things settle in. Murphy, the catcher, and then Pache, the center fielder, and then back to Tony Kemp at the top of the order. Here's a 3-4. 3-4 to a 0 is going to be a double. So doubles abound in this game. And that will be a double over the right fielder, off the bricks, and sliding in safely to second is Murphy. Christian Pache, I think is how you say it, center fielder. He's got a runner at second base with nobody out. That's a 2-2. A 2-2 off of right is going to be a double. So back-to-back 2-baggers. And that's going to be down the right field line. That is an RBI, and Pache with his speed is into first, or into second base standing up. So Oakland cuts back into the lead. It's now 7-5 with the top of the order coming up. Kemp and Andrews, and maybe even Laureano, right? So there's nobody out, runner at second base. Kemp got on his last at bat with an error to the left fielder. This time he hits it to right field, down the line, and Acuna's on his horse. He gets there, and he is deep, very deep in the corner. That's going to be out number 1, and that's going to push the runner to third base. No chance to get him, to get Pache as he moves over to third. So 1 down, runner at third base, and it's Elvis Andrus to the plate. He homered in his last at bat. There's a 1-4 to a -1. That'll be a walk or hit by pitch. It's a 7 on the D9, so that's going to be a walk. Runners at the corners now. Kyle Wright trying to hold the lead here, and it's Laureano. Laureano had a single in his last at bat. Here's a 4-6 to an 11. Should be a double play. Double play or strikeout. So 1 out and a runner at first base. That is a double play situation. And when you get the DP, that's an automatic double play. You don't have to roll for that. So it's going to be 6-4. And we're going to go 6-4-3 here. So that's out number 2. Out number 3 as Swanson to Albies to Olsen. And that's going to end the inning. So Wright gets the double play that he needs. And the runner at third does not score. They do get 1 on the RBI double from Pache, though. And it is now 7-5. Braves over the A's as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Irvin, just going to leave him out there. He hasn't reached his limit yet, and we'll see if he can get him through 4 at least. Not looking good. It's a 2-2. 2-2 to an 8 is going to be a double or triple if the D9 is an 8 or greater. It is an 8, and for the second straight game, at least that I've been playing, Dansby Swanson hits triple. This time it's over the right fielder. It bounces off the wall, gets away from the right fielder a little bit, and Swanson turns the corner and makes it to third. Riley is going to stand in. He's a 26 batting runs. He's, what was that? Is that a walk? He's 0 for 1 in this game. He flat out to right in his last at bat. That's a 1-4. 1-4 to a 26 is going to be a double. That's off of the pitcher's card, and I don't think we can stick with him too much longer. So that's an RBI double from Riley as the Braves are peppering that right field wall, and we got to bring Irvin out. There's no way we can keep him in here. It's 8 runs now in 3 innings, so that's going to be the end of the line for Irvin. Let me see if I can find a replacement pitcher for Oakland. All right, so the new pitcher for Oakland is going to be Austin Pruitt. He's a right-hander. He's coming in relief of Cole Irvin, who has had a very rough start of it. He's got a runner at second base that he's responsible for. He's already given up 8 runs in the ball game. Pruitt with a 3.73 FIP, and he can go 10 batters, so a little bit of length here, hoping to get 2 or 3 innings out of him. He'll be pitching out of the second column, which might be a little bit better for Oakland. He's facing Olson, Albies, and at least those two probably. Here's a 1-2. 1-2 to Olson. It's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. And the runner's going to advance. That's a hot shot. The shortstop, Andrus, has to go way to his left. He gets it over to first and gets Olson by half a step, but that is going to push the runner over to third base on the fielder's choice. So 1 down with a runner at third. Riley is standing at third after his RBI double. And it's going to be Albies to the plate, who's 2 for 2. He's got 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Here's a 1-2. That's going to be a ground out. A little slowly hit grounder. The catcher or the pitcher goes off his glove and he recovers. He picks it up. He throws over to first. No chance to get the runner coming home. And Riley is going to score. That's going to be an RBI for Albies. They do get the out at first base. And it's going to be 2 down with nobody on. 2 runs in for the Braves. It is now 9-5, and Ozuna to the plate. Here's a 6-6. Ozuna with a 2-run homer already in this game. A 6-6 to a 0 will be a long single, so that won't matter, as his speed is only a 5, so he'll be at first base with a base knock. That's his second hit of the game. Contreras 1 for 1 with a double, RBI double in his last at bat. Here's a 2-6 to a 13. 2-6 to a 13 is going to sing a single to center field with an error check. No error on Pache. So back-to-back singles for the Braves, and they have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Guillermo Heredia to the plate. This is a 4-5 to a -7. That'll be a fly ball to straightaway left. Can of corn for the left fielder, and Pender puts it away for the out. That's going to be 3 down. But the Braves do get 2 more, and that's going to be 9 runs in the first 4 innings for the Braves. That's going to close out the book on Irvin. And Pruitt does allow the inherited run to score, but he gets them out of the jam. And let's see how he can do for an inning or 2 more. Kyle Wright is at 18, 19, 20, 21. He's at 21. He can go 25 batters. Quick inning here. He could possibly go 6 without having to drop down out of this column, but we'll see how things play out. Much like Ian Anderson in the last game that I played. He's got a nice little cushion, 9-5. A lot of scoring here lately. We're getting some bad starters. So, once you get in these last 2 columns, it gets real rough, real fast. So there's a 2-6. This is going to be Lowry, Pender, and Brown this inning. So Jed Lowry, a 2-6 to a -2. 2-6 to a -2 is going to be a ground out. That is to the second baseman. Albies up with it and over to Olson. That's going to be out number 1. Brings up Pender, the left fielder. That's a 1-5 to a 2. 1-5 to a 2 will be a base knock. And so Pender gets his second hit of the day. He is 2 for 3 in the game. And Brown is the batter. We're not going to steal with Pender. I think we learned our lesson the last time. In fact, the A's are 1 for 2 on the game. Contreras, a better offensive catcher than a defensive catcher, but he's turning into a better one. Brown is 1 for 2. He had an RBI double in his last at bat. Here's 2-4. 2-4 to a 1 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. That is again to Ozzie Albies, and that's going to be an automatic double play. So fielder's choice here, and we go 4-6-3 on the putout. So it's Albies to Swanson. No, there's not 6 outs. Albies to Swanson to Olson, and that will take care of Oakland in the 5th. So good quick inning for Kyle Wright, and that's going to get him to 27, 26, 25. So he's at 24 batters right now. and another opportunity to squeeze out another inning from Kyle Wright. For the Braves, it's going to be the bottom of the order. Harris, who had an RBI double in his last at bat. Acuna and Swanson. Top of the order, middle of the order, every part of the order doing damage for the Braves. Harris is a -5. A 2-4 to a -5 will be a strikeout. So strikeout number 1 for Pruitt. And with 1 out, Ronald Acuna Jr. stands in. It's a 4-4 to a 29. That's going to be a walk to Acuna. So with Acuna at first, it stands to be Swanson. Swanson 2 for 3. He had a triple in his last at bat. There's a 6-6 to an 8. That'll be a long single. That's going to be a hustle double for him. That's going to push the runner to third base. And we're going to go ahead and try to score Acuna as he is flying around third. Washington is sending him from third. It's going to be a 1-6 safe at home. And he is just in there under the tag and out of breath as he scores on the Swanson double. And it will be Austin Riley. Austin Riley, 26 batting runs. Here's a 2-4. That's going to be a strikeout to Riley. So this is out number 1, out number 2, and they're 2 down. The Braves are at 10 runs now, and it is a 10-5 lead. They have a runner at second base and Matt Olson at the plate. A 1-5 to Olson, who is at 33. Is going to be a ground out to the third baseman. So a hot shot to third. That Davidson is able to handle. He gets it over to first, and that's the third out of the inning. The Braves do put 1 more on the board. 4-3-2-1. So it's, the next inning should be a 0. It's going to be 5-6-10 to 5, and Kyle Wright is coming out for the 6th inning. He'll be facing the bottom of the order, Davidson, Murphy, and Pache. A 1-5 to Davidson, who is a 1. 1-5 to a 1. It's going to be a base hit. That is the second hit of the day for Davidson. He had a double and scored a run back in the 2nd inning. There's a 1-4 to Murphy. 1-4 to Murphy still here in this column, so nothing. And a 1-4 to a 0 is going to be a walk. So that puts 2 runners on with nobody out. In many of these situations, Wright's been getting this double play. Let's see if he can get that from Pache. Pache with an RBI double back in the 1st, 2nd, 4th inning. And he does get the double play that he needs. A 4-6 to a 21, or a -21, is going to be a double play or a strikeout. That is hit hard to Riley, and he's going to go 5-4-3 on the putout. So it's Riley to Ozzie to Olson, and that will be 2 down in the inning. Runner does make it over to third base on the fielder's choice, and we have a runner at third base now with 2 down, and Tony Kemp to the plate. It's a 2-3. That's a ground out with an error check. Ground out to Riley. See if he's up to it. He is. And Riley with the pick and over to first, and that will be out number 3 as Riley accounts for all 3 outs in the inning. That's a 0. They get no runs on 1 hit. They do strand 1 at third base. Oakland does, and they're still down 10-5. Kyle Wright has officially maxed out his batters faced. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pruitt is still going okay. We'll leave him in for 1 more inning. See if we can get them to the back end of the bullpen. He has provided some relief here with 2 solid innings. He's given up 1 run, well, himself 1 run, but he's given up 2 runs. He allowed an inherited runner to score. It's going to be Albies, Ozuna, and Contreras. They have done a lot of damage. Let's see if Pruitt can limit that damage. It's a 4-6 to a 5. 4-6 to a 5 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. That'll be a strikeout swinging. So Albies goes down for the first out of the inning. Here's a 4-4 to Ozuna. 4-4 to Ozuna will be a base hit, and that's his second straight hit. He is 3 for 4 on the day with the home run and a couple of singles. So Ozuna stands at first base. Contreras batting. Contreras 2 for 2 on the day. Here's a 3-6 to a 13. 3-6. So nothing here. 3-6 to a 13 is going to be a fly ball to right center field. It is Pache ranging over to right center, and he will make the play. And that's 2 down in the inning. It'll be Heredia to the plate now. This is about the spot in the game where he hit his home run. Let's see what he does. That's a 5-6. 5-6 to a -7 will be a strikeout, and he goes down for the third out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. The Braves do strand Ozuna at first base, and good work from Pruitt as he comes in and throws 3 innings. I'm going to replace him in the next inning. We're going to stick with Kyle Wright. Wright has faced his max number of batters, so what we got to do is we got to drop him down 1, so he was in this column, and we're going to drop him down to this third column for the pitchers. And let's see how he does here. He's already given up a home run to Andrus. Andrus is 2 for 2 with a home run, a double, and a walk. So a good game for him. That's a 4-5 to a -1. 4-5 to a -1 is going to be a fly ball. That's a fly ball to straightaway left. Heredia is there, and he makes the play for out number 1. Laureano, the number 3 hitter, 11 batting runs. So a 6-6 to an 11 is going to be a long single. And his speed is a 6, and so that's going to be a hustle double there as he hits that one to right field. They were shading maybe a little bit to left field, and he gets in there with a hustle double. So Lowry is standing in now. He is the DH. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to Ozzy a couple times. It's a 4-4 to a -2. And that will be a base knock this time. So he hits that one to the gap in left center. And Laureano's speed is a 6. Let's just go ahead and try to score with him. A 1-6. He's safe at home. And he's in there just under the tag. As Heredia makes a good throw, but a little bit late. And that's going to be an RBI for Jed Lowry. As the Oakland scores for the first time in the last couple of innings, that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's now 10-6, and the gap is closing a little bit. Let's see if Wright can close this one out. 1 out, runner at first base, and Pender to the plate. 2-2. 2-2 to a 2 is going to be, well, Wright is down here, so a 2-2 to a 2. Be a double or a triple. If the D9 is an 8, that's going to be a double. Make it a double for me, says Pender. And not going to try to score him. Still going to play for the big inning. 10-6 is our score. We got Brown coming up. Brown with an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. And let's just go ahead and pitch to him, see how this happens. A 2-4. A 2-4 is going to be a strikeout. And so Wright gets him looking on the strikeout. Losing our battery here. Hopefully our battery can make it. We'll see. So that is out number 2 in the inning. And it's going to be Davidson, the 3rd baseman. He is 2 for 3 on the day. There's a 2-6. 2-6 to a 1. 2-6 to a 1 is going to be a ground out. And that is to Ozzy Albies. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. And it extinguishes the threat. But Oakland does get one more in the 7th off of Kyle Wright. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Let me find a new pitcher for Oakland. Okay, a new pitcher is going to be Jimenez, the right-hander. I know that he is technically their closer, but looks like an important section of the game. Maybe they can even squeeze 2 innings out of him. So it's going to be Harris to lead off, and then Acuna and Swanson in this bottom of the 7th inning. Let's get a little pitcher change notification. And Jimenez, right-handed pitcher. Like I said, I'm hoping that our phone can limp across the finish line. It's going to be Harris. That's a 2-5. 2-5 to a -5. Jimenez is pitching out of this first column, by the way. So 2-5 to a -5 will be a fly out with an error check. So fly ball to center field. No problem for the center fielder, who is Pache, as he, smooth as silk, makes the play. And Acuna stands in. Acuna is 2 for 3, a couple doubles and a walk, and he scored 2 runs. It's a 4-4 to a 29. 4-4 to a 29 is a double play or strikeout, so that's going to be the second strikeout of the day for Acuna as he swings and misses on the slider. 2 down, and Dansby Swanson to the plate. It's 2-2 to an 8. 2-2 to an 8 batting runs would be a double or a triple if it's an 8 on the D9. It is a double. So Dansby Swanson with yet another extra base hit, and this time is to deep center field as he one-hops the wall and gets it over Pache, who was playing in, but he scalds it. And he's got a single, triple, and 2 doubles. So I would say Swanson is making a bid for player of the game. Here's a 4-4 to Riley. 4-4 to Riley is going to be a walk. So Riley very patiently takes his base, and that'll be runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Matt Olson to the plate. 3-3 to Olson, and that's going to be held to a single. So base knock for Matty Olson, and let's go ahead and try to score with Swanson. We're not even going to take the chance to let Albies hit. So 1-7, Swanson is safe at home. It's a 5, and he is going to be in there, and that'll be the 11th run for the Braves as they are adding on. The score is now 11-6. Braves over Oakland. It'll be Ozzie Albies. Albies has 2 doubles in the game. That's a 1-6. It's going to be a fly ball to right center field, and the right fielder is Laureano. He comes over and makes the play. So that's the 3rd out of the inning. The Braves do eke out 1 more, and that's going to be the end of the line for Jimenez. I was hoping maybe he could get into the 8th inning, but they really only need 1 more. They'll need to get 1 more inning unless they make a furious comeback here. We're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Braves. Wright is going to have to go down to this last column otherwise. So let's go ahead and find that pitcher. All right, the new pitcher for Atlanta is going to be Darren O'Day, the side-armed right-hander, who's pitched very well. He's got a 3.70 FIP. 4 batters faced is where he can go. So planning for him to get the 8th inning. And then we'll bring in another pitcher for the 9th, and we'll see. Maybe Chavez or someone could close it out. Depends on what Oakland does here. They've got Murphy, Pache, and Kemp coming up. It's a 1-2. That's going to be a ground out. Right back to the pitcher. O'Day handles it well. Over to first, and that's out number 1. Here's a 2-6 to a -21. O'Day is pitching out of the 2nd column, by the way. So a 2-6, nothing there. And to a -21, that's going to be a ground ball. To second base. Ozzie Albies very busy in this game as he makes the play over to first. Brings up Kemp, the second baseman. Here's a 3-5. 3-5 to a 1 is a strikeout. So very good and efficient inning for O'Day as he comes in and takes care of the Oakland bottom of the order. So no runs on no hits. 1-2-3 inning for Darren O'Day. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. We need to get a new pitcher for Oakland, and let me find that pitcher. All right, the new pitcher for Oakland is going to be AJ, I don't know if it's Puck or Pook. I'm just going to go with AJ. All right, so how about that? Because I don't really know how to say his last name. So he's a left-hander coming in. Probably going to just throw the one inning. He'll be facing the bottom of the order: Ozuna, Contreras, and Heredia, 6, 7, 8. And Harris, if it gets down to it. Ozuna's had a game. He's 3 for 4 with a home run. He's got 3 RBIs. And here's a 5-5 to the DH. AJ's going to be pitching out of this second column, by the way. So 5-5 to a 0 will be a line out or foul out. It is a 3 on the D9, so that's going to be a liner to the right fielder. So he hits it hard, but he hits it right at Laureano, who makes the play on the sinking liner, and a good play in right field for out number 1. Contreras, here's a 2-3 to him. He is also 2 for 3 on the day, and he is going to be 2 for 4 now. The 2-3 is going to be a ground out. Well, maybe a ground out with an arrow check. That's a ground ball too short, and the shortstop Andrus makes the play. No issues, and so that's going to be out number 2. Heredia to the plate now, 2-4. 2-4 to a -7 is going to be a strikeout, and AJ Pook makes the play, and 3 up, 3 down go the Braves. So he gets the strikeout looking on Heredia. We go to the 9th inning. It is 11-6, Braves over the A's. We're going to, let's just leave O'Day in there, see if he can finish this out. He's only at 3 batters, and he can go 4 before he has to drop down. Again, he's pitching out of this second column, so should be okay here against the middle of the order. If he starts to slip, we'll bring somebody in. But it's going to be Andrus, Laureano, and Lowry, the guys who have done the most damage in this game for Oakland. Here's a 2-3. 2-3 to a -1 is going to be a ground out with an error check. That's to Ozzie. Ozzie, no problems on the play, and he gets it over to Olson for out number 1. Laureano stands in. Laureano's got a couple of hits, scored a couple of runs, 2 for 3 on the day. He's had a good day. The right fielder is a 4-5 to an 11. 4-5 to an 11 is going to be a base knock. So his 3rd hit of the game. He showed up to play for sure. And it's going to be Lowry. Lowry with an RBI single on his last at bat. That's a 4-6. 4-6 to a -2. 4-6 to a -2 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. And that will be Ozzie Albies going 4-6-3, not 4. Not possible for him to get over there for that. So it's going to be a fielder's choice here. Out number 2, out number 3, and that's going to end your ball game as the Braves go Albies to Swanson to Olson, and that is it. So the Braves win this one 11-6, and just pound the starting pitcher Irvin. Wright gave up quite a few runs in the beginning, settled down a little bit, and the Braves bullpen came in and took care of business. O'Day. All right, let me get the totals in this one, and I'll come back with those in just a moment. Okay, so I'm back with the totals. This is going to be for Oakland, 6 runs on 14 hits, no errors. For them, for Atlanta, 11 runs on 17 hits and 2 errors. Player of the game is Dansby Swanson. We'll get to the reason for that. Wright is going to take the win. Not a great game, but he does get the win. And Cole Irvin is going to take the loss. Highlights for Oakland, there are some. 3 for 4 for Laureano, but he didn't have any RBIs. He did score a couple of runs. 3 for 4 for Pinder, 2 for 4 Davidson, and Andrus with the 2-run home run. He was 2 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. The A's 1 for 2 in stolen bases. For the A's, it's Irvin, 3 innings, 11 hits, 9 runs, 2 walks, and 4 Ks, so a pretty terrible start. Pruitt came in, did better, 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 run. Jimenez gave up a run. And then AJ Puck, I looked it up. His name is Puck, not Pook, so I wasn't sure. But his name is Puck, AJ Puck, and he comes in for an inning of scoreless relief in the 8th, I'm sorry. For the Braves, it's going to be Kyle Wright going 7 innings, gives up 13 hits out of the 14. 6 runs, 4 walks, and 3 Ks. So he gives up all 6 of the runs to the A's. But he did go 7 innings and gave the Braves some length. In the actual game, he went 8 innings, but only gave up 2 runs. So much better in real life than in the game. But he does get the win. Darren O'Day comes in for 2 innings, gives up only the 1 hit, and strikes out 1, gives up no runs. Now here is, you can see everybody got a base knock except for Heredia, who actually hit the game winner in the real game. So that's kind of funny with the hat trick of strikeouts. Where to start? You just go down the line. 2 for 4 for Acuna. He scored 2 runs. 4 for 5. Dansby Swanson is our player of the game. 4 for 5. Scored 3 runs. Knocked in 2. He had a single, a triple, and 2 doubles, and threw in a strikeout just for good measure. Had an RBI single in the first. Had an RBI double in the whatever that was, the 7th. Riley goes 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Olsen 2 for 5 with an RBI single. Albies 2 for 5. He had 2 doubles to start the game. He scored 2 runs. He had an RBI ground out and an RBI double. Big game for Ozuna, another one. This is sort of back-to-back games in the replay. And when Ozuna comes alive, that really lengthens their lineup. So 3 for 5 for him. He had a 2-run homer in the first and an RBI ground out, but he also added 2 more singles. So 3 RBIs for Ozuna. Contreras chips in with a 2 for 4 night. He had an RBI double. And even Harris down at the bottom of the order, 1 for 5 with an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. So lots of scoring, lots of offense in the last 2 games for Atlanta. When you throw this lineup here up against guys who are in that 3rd column, it's going to get pretty dicey for the most part. Irvin actually pitched really well last night. He went 5 1/3, I believe. What was this final line? He went 5 1/3, gave up 7 hits and 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. He did give up 2 home runs to Acuna, but they were solo jobs, just leading off. In fact, every home run that they gave up in the game was a leadoff home run in the inning, so no multiple RBI home runs. Kyle Wright went 8 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs, struck out 7 and didn't walk any. So a considerably better day for both pitchers on the actual field than here on the tabletop. But the Braves come out winners in this one, 11-6. This is our 2022 Braves Instant Replay, where I'm replaying the first series of every, or the first game of every series in 2022. This is a 2-game set with Oakland, so in a couple days we will roll out the game against Pittsburgh. That will be the next one. This is game number 15. I'm pretty sure it's 15 in the series. I will put a link to the playlist. I actually have a playlist of all of these games that I've been playing. So all 15 are there, and you can keep up with that. You can also keep up at the Facebook group for On Base Baseball, and I'll put the link to that in the description as well. And you can go there, join. You can actually get the roster sheets where I have these values, and you can play along as well. You can go back and replay from the beginning of the season. You can start from today and play out the rest of the season pre-playing games, or you can play along as they're being played. The full values are there, updated as of June the 7th. So you can just pick up there, or you can play along. And each week I'm using the updated values whenever I play these games. So this game was played June 7th. I took the values from the morning of June 7th as if this game has not been played. So Acuna's 2 home runs are not being factored into this game, but they will be in the next game. So I'm sure that he will be over 30 batting runs the next time, and they'll have 2 players with Riley knocking at the door. The Braves have a very powerful lineup, and they're, like I said, they're at 6 games in a row now, and they are beginning to roll. And if they get any pitching from Charlie Morton, then it's going to be very tough in the National League, and the Mets are going to be given a run for their money. Okay, so this is a good one. Win for the Braves. And if you have any questions or comments about this game or about on-base baseball, or maybe something I did in the game, a choice that I made, leave it in the comment section below. I'll get to those comments as quickly as possible. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll get, if you click the little bell icon, you'll get notified, of new videos when I produce them. Usually it's several a week that I've been on schedule with, and developing a couple of new games. So Yaya Baseball is a fun one. I'm developing a new, more in-depth game, sort of an old school, flip a card, roll the dice, kind of charts and that kind of stuff. So something a little bit different for me, but is also going to be using advanced stats. So that's sort of the underlying strand through all of my games, is that I'm relying on advanced stats. And just to give you a little anecdote, someone was looking at on-base baseball and sort of judging it by the numbers playing the demo, and he said, your numbers come out really realistic, and just sort of getting around to why is that happening. But each of these values is actually a value. This is not me rating a player. This is a player being rated by his own value. So his actual batting runs is 11. His actual batting runs is 33. Well, this is the projected, but we're using actual numbers, and actual numbers for speed, actual numbers for the defensive ratings, etc. So these are not my guesses. These are not me looking at attributes. This is me just pulling raw data and saying, based off of that data, we're building the game around that data. So that's why a lot of these values, these guys they're gonna pitch, they're gonna hit within a range, but it's not going to come out exactly. Obviously these two guys pitched much better last night, but a guy who comes in with a 4.44 FIP, he pitched to that level in this game. Probably should have brought him out after 2 innings instead of 3, but I don't really care about the A's. I'm not trying to win a World Series or save my pitching staff, but he kind of pitched to that level. Kyle Wright, he pitched a little bit below the level that he's been pitching, and after that game last night, he's probably going to be in the first column under a 3.50 FIP, because he gave up 2 runs in 8 innings. But these guys are going to perform pretty close to the levels that they are in real life. 11-6 against Oakland A's, probably not out of range for this Braves lineup to score 11 runs. So that is I don't know if it's the genius, but that is what is behind on-base baseball, is real statistics that we are creating roles off of those real statistics. So everything has been vetted. The game engine chart is based off of groups of players in those ranges. How have they performed, groups of pitchers in those columns, and I separate them out, how have they performed, and trying to make sure that there's a little bit of wiggle room and manipulation to try to get those players into sort of the right ranges where they should be. But whether a guy has 24 home runs or 29 home runs, sometimes that's just who you're facing. Sometimes it's the wind blowing out. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily skill that brings you from 24 to 29. So every player is going to be in a range. They could just as easily hit 20 as 24. They could just as easily hit 28 as 24. So there's a little bit of range. You're just trying to make sure that you get players into the realm of possibility. So that's sort of where I've taken. Every player is not going to hit their exact numbers from the season, especially if you're playing older seasons. But part of the reason is the pitcher-hitter interaction. It's very heavy in this game, so pitchers have a lot of influence over the game, especially bad pitchers. And good pitchers can also have a lot of influence as well. So maybe more than some other games. Whenever you're looking at it, it doesn't look like it's going to be very much because it kind of looks subtle, especially when you look at when you look here at how few opportunities there are. But if you go through and you rewatch the game, you'll realize that you're hitting on 14 a lot. You're hitting on 36 a lot, 56 a lot. You're hitting on 11 very seldom, but it is an extra like little 1 or 2% on your strikeouts. So you hit on 26 a lot. 33 comes up often enough. So these are, these have all been vetted over many seasons of creating now different seasons and playing these things out. When there's a 22, that's not a common roll, but when it does come up, that's a pretty vicious roll for a pitcher. And then, if you're not good, you're going to give up more walks. If you're not good, you're going to give up more home runs. And that's sort of when you run the actual numbers, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the home run percentage goes up. Home run percentage goes up, walk percentage goes up, strikeout percentage goes down for guys who are in this column over here. That's why they don't have those things. When you look in these columns, strikeouts go way up, walks go down, home runs go down. That's why you see, you have a single here that eliminates a home run. So it's just sort of trying to manipulate the numbers to get the pitchers into the right frame against the hitters as well. So it's a fun thing to do. I enjoy the process of creation because it's like a puzzle you're trying to figure out. How can I represent this game using dice or cards or these formulas and numbers? And how can I represent it well so that these players are worth changing out? You bring in a pitcher and he's going to be better. You bring in a hitter and he's going to be better. You bring in a fielder and it's going to make a change to the game. So that's sort of where you're getting, but you also don't want it to swing too wildly with one way or the other. So that's a little bit of the backstory. Thanks for staying for that if you stayed for it. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, you can email me at onbasebaseball@gmail.com. And I'll get back to you on that. If you have any questions about developing a game, I'm pretty new. This is only my second year, really, maybe 2.5 years with On Base and being in the cards and dice sort of game creation field. I've only made video games before. I've never made cards and dice games before. So this is sort of my first foray into this area. And the game is doing well. And I appreciate the support. And hopefully every iteration that I do, the game gets a little bit better. I'll be working on the 2010s. That's probably the next roster sheet set that I will do for the decades. And then that will sort of get us up to the present. And then I can begin working on sort of seasons of antiquity before 1950. Right now we have 1950 all the way through 2009 available. And you can go on to onbasebaseball.com and you can purchase one of those decade roster sheet sets. It gives you 10 years for $20, $2 a season, and you get every single player who played during the decade. So not only the year, but the decade, and you get 10 of those seasons. So 10 seasons for $20 is just a great deal. You can also you'll get a contextualized game engine chart. So if you download the 1950s, you'll get a 1950s contextualized game engine chart where the results have been taken from the players who played during that decade and they've been manipulated as such. So there's going to be fewer strikeouts. There's going to be more generally lower ERAs because that's just the way it was in the 50s. Guys are going to hit fewer home runs generally. So some of the home run numbers and things like that have been changed and manipulated as well to sort of bring those numbers down to 1950 style of play. But we also have any of these that you can download, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So you can actually play the 1950s. using a 2000s, like 2000 to 2009 game engine chart, so everything gets bumped up a little bit. It's same players, same values, but you're just using different outcomes. So pitchers are going to have more strikeouts, batters are going to have more home runs. What would have been like if Roy Campanella or Jackie Robinson or Gil Hodges or whoever you can think of, Willie Mays, had played in the 2000s? What would that have been like? What would it have been like if they'd have played in the 70s or the 80s? You can actually see some of those things, sort of test them out. And those are free downloads that you can find on the free resources page at onbasebaseball.com. So check it out. There's lots of different stuff out there, lots of things that you can play. This is really a game engine that you are meant to make your own. So that's why you can do some crazy configurations like that, where you play a whole season with 1950s players in the 2000s era. Because I wanted to create something that was cross-era, something that you could compare players across different decades or eras and play them on the field against each other. That was the ultimate goal, and the first intention of this game was not to create a full-on APA style game that tells you everything is supposed to do, or you're just sitting in the stands watching the game. The intention was that you would manipulate and twist and pull and reconfigure the game the way that you want it to be. And I give you a baseline game that you can play out of the box, but the hope is that you modify it, you bring in other elements that make the game the way you want to make it, because you shouldn't just be stuck with the way that I decide to make it. So you could base these numbers off of ERA, you could base them off of WHIP, you can base them off of whatever you want them to be. I just chose batting runs, or really weighted runs above average. I just chose those as my delineators, my separators. But you could use batting average, you could use home runs, you could use any number of things that you want to do. You want to use WOBA, you can use WOBA and just separate the players out into different WOBA categories. But this is based, off of batting runs, and so, but the actual outcomes are based off of real world stats. So players' OPS, their slugging, their actual average home runs. The outcomes are based off of actual statistics. So that if you did this by WOBA, you would probably, and you wanted to use WOBA to separate the batters, you could probably do that too. You don't have to use weighted runs above average. Same thing here with FIP. You could just as easily use ERA, or, these are based off Sierra, which is what I have. The ZiPS projections use FIP. They don't use Sierra. But in my the 2000s roster sheets, I have Sierra listed as well as FIP. Anything older than the 2000s, you're going to have to go with FIP. Sierra didn't exist after, before 2002, I think. So that's a little bit of behind the scenes. Probably a lot more here than you bargained for. But if you stayed to the end, hopefully you learned something. If you do have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I love to talk about these things with people, especially if you're looking for kind of the backstage view of what it's like to make one of these games, or just, you're interested in more information about how the game came to be, or how you get to the numbers, or whatever it is. All right, so in short, the Braves win this one 11-6, and I think that's it for me here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.